Okay, let's get this done here. Okay, take this packet here. Now rip this page off. You don't need to hand it in. It's to help you. Okay, I'm going to go over two problems. You have two to do on your own. It's what you were doing yesterday, but you need to get good at this so that what's coming up isn't just pure hell, to be honest with you. Okay, a website to download songs charges $25 for registration and 99 cents per song downloaded. How much would it cost to download 22 songs? Okay, so again, we're going to go like this. And the two units I have underlined are, you need to not ignore this box, okay? It's very important you fill this out. Dollars and songs. And I even want to step further on this assignment. I said that Y should be the dollars, Y is always the dollars, and then X is going to be the songs. Okay, now per. And you want to put a dollar sign on top. Whatever Y is goes on top, whatever X is goes on the bottom. So whenever I buy a song, how much does it cost me? 99 cents. Okay, so then I make my straight line because it goes up by 99 cents, up by 99 cents, up by 99 cents, hence it's a straight line. And I always go Y, put a little plus sign there, X and Y. Okay, so the slope is 99 cents because X is songs and we know every song costs 99 cents. So just put 0.99. And then we need to also replace the beginning Y because Y is money and the money opens up at $25. Okay, so now I write an equation and I put 25 plus 0.99x and then we put Y here. Now, this is where a lot of people got stuck yesterday. They did not know what to do after this was set up. Okay, so I cross out 25 and 99 cents because those are part of the equation. So I see 22. And it's 22 songs. Well, songs means X. So that's going to go in for X. So when I put something in for X, I want to put the X in parentheses and put the number that goes there, 22, okay? And then I have the answer if I just plug the sentence into the calculator, okay? So I'll get my calculator out of its sleeve here. So I simply can find this by taking 25 plus 0.99 times 22. And that gives me $46.78. So I drop the equals. Here's Y. And then I just plug that into my calculator and I got $46.78. Okay, so put 46.78 down there because that's where we're going to put our answer. Okay, next one. An internet repair service charges $60 for diagnosis and $20 per hour for labor. If the total cost was $200, how many hours did it take them to make the repair? So we're trying to figure out how many hours. So the two units I have underlined are dollars and hours. You have to do this because this helps us down here. Okay, Y is always money. And then X is going to be the hours. So per, put the Y label on top and the X label on the bottom. Now find me how much money it costs every single hour they work. Well, it's $20. Y, X, Y, put your little plus there. And we know we have $20 right here. So 20 I replaced that y with the money that we opened up with, which was $60 to the diagnosis. Diagnosis means they tell us what's wrong, and then they pay the $20 when they fix it. Every hour, though, it repeats. So I have 60 plus 20x, and then I have y over here. So all the equations look like that. So 60 and 20 are out of here. And I see we have $200, okay? So it's $200, keep that in mind. Now, go look up here. What's dollars? Is it X or Y? Dollars is Y, so this time it goes in for Y. So when I plug the number in for Y, scribble out the Y, and I'm going to put 200 in its place. Then I need to dot my X and circle it. Then I need to add or subtract. I would need to minus this 60 out of here, and then subtract it on the other side from 200. So I have 20.x, and 200 minus 600 is going to be 60, not 600. Okay, 200 minus 60 is 140, and then of course the last step is to divide. Because now I have found the answer for x. 140 divided by 20 is 7. Okay, so I go put 7 for my answer. If you use this, you will get better at it. Okay, and for x, you parenthesize the x, replace it, and you just plug the answer, plug it into your calculator. And for y, you got to scribble out the y, dot your x, and circle, add or subtract, and divide. Okay. You have 2 of those to do. Pause the video, do them, and then come back. 7-minute mark. Okay, now here's the other thing you're going to do today. Now, yesterday on one of the packets, you saw a line, and you took 2 points, and you had to find the slope by like making your up and like that. Now you're going to find that again without having to seal the line. So here are the 2 points, xy, xy. It always goes like that. Now the formula is y minus y divided by x minus x. So I set my dividing line with minuses in the middle. And I circle my y's, 2 and 7, okay? Those have to be on top, both of them. So 2, 7. And then these have to be on bottom. Okay, so 1, 7. Okay, so 2 minus 7 equals negative 5, and 1 minus 7 is negative 6. So then I divide negative 5 divided by negative 6, and it's 0.83 repeating. So I just put equals 0.83 repeating. Okay. 3, 4 is the first point, and then 5, 0 is the second, xy, xy. And we are going to be going y minus y and x minus x. So here are my y's, 4 and 0. So I'm going to take 4 minus 0, and then I'm going to put 3 and negative 5. Okay, so 4 minus 0 is 4. Now, if I have those if you want to put 3 minus negative 5 in the calculator, it'll give you the right answer. But if you're subtracting a negative, you're really adding the positive. So 3 plus 5 is 8. And I take 4 divided by 8, and that gives me 0.5. Okay, xy, xy. I need to find the slope that runs through those 2 points. So the y's go on top. They have to go on top. The y's do. So negative 2 and 8. And then 5 and 5. Negative 2 minus 8 is how I would punch that into my calculator, and that gives me negative 10, and then 5 minus 5 is 0. Negative 10 divided by 0 is an error, so then the slope is called what we call undefined. Okay, meaning it's one of those lines that looks like straight up and down, so there's no way it goes over. Okay, I can't read that, so I'm not going to do it. Okay, 3, 0, and negative 8, 0. So remember, the y's have to be on top together. So the y from one point has to go with the y from another point. And the x from one point has to go with the x from the other point. So 0 minus 0 is 0. Minus negative, make that plus plus. Now that's 11. And then I go 0 divided by 11, and that's 0. Okay, so the slope is 0. That is my answer. Okay, negative 6, negative 6, and negative 2, negative 2. Okay, so my x, y's here, those go on top. The y from one point needs to be subtracted with the y from the other point. And the x from this point subtracted from the x of that point. Now negative 6 minus negative 2, so plus plus, and that equals negative 4. Negative 6 minus negative 2, I go plus plus, and that equals negative 4. Negative 4 divided by negative 4 is 1. Okay, xy, xy. Okay, so the y's, negative 4, negative 2, negative 5, and 1. So negative 4 minus negative 2 plus plus, and that's negative 2. Negative 5 minus 1 is negative 6. Okay, so negative 2 divided by negative 6 is 0.3 repeating. Okay, my next one. Negative 4, 3, negative 5, 7. So xy, xy, and again the y's have to go on top together. So I'm going to put 3 and 7, and then negative 4 and negative 5. So 3 minus 7 is negative 4, and then that minus negative, you want to make it plus plus, and negative 4 plus positive 5 is 1. Negative 4 divided by 1 is negative 4. Okay, and then that's it on that one. Okay, you need to do those rest of them. If you can't read a number, just put what it looks most like, right? Because I'm a pretty bad writer. Okay, and then this is your kind of new thing you're going to learn. Now, it seems completely pointless and utterly ridiculous what I'm trying to have you do. It's for something later on, but you have to get a skill down. Otherwise, you won't know how to do what's coming up after this. Okay, what I need to do is solve for this b here, so I'm going to circle it. You see this formula, y equals mx. It means m times x. I would suggest you put a dot between the m and the x. So, I need to scribble out all these other letters. By the way, this always goes x and y. Okay? You need to scribble out these three letters right here. Okay? So that was a y. I'm going to put a 5 where the y was. And then m, I'm going to put a negative 6 where that was, and then I put a times sign because it was m times x. X comes out, I'm going to put a negative 1 where the x was. Okay, so you scribble those letters, replace them, remember to put a times dot. Now here's what you do. You need to take your equals and drop it straight down. Over here, I just have 5, okay? Negative 6 times negative 1, I just times those two. Negative 6 by negative 1, it's positive 6, so I'm just showing you what I'm doing. So that is 6 plus b, okay? Now, you need to put a 1 in front of the b, dot it, and circle it. So we need to subtract this 6 from here. Okay, so I minus 6, and I minus 6. 5 minus 6 is negative 1. And then here, since you have a 1 as your dot, you can just get rid of the 1, and that's our answer. Okay, b equals negative 1. Okay. Next one, always put x and y. So again, we're looking to solve for the b, so I scribble out the rest of the letters. Now that was a y. I put a negative 6. That's an m. I need to put 2 times, and then x comes out and we put 3. So now I drop my equals. I have negative 6 here all by itself. I need to take 2 times 3, and that becomes 6 plus b. Now put a 1 in front of it and dot it. Okay? So we need to get rid of this 6 here and it's positive 6, so I would minus 6. So again, I drop my equals, and I take negative 6 minus 6, and that gives me negative 12. Now, again, if you're multiplying numbers of 1 right here, you can just get rid of it, and that's the answer. Okay, negative 6/7, m is 1/2. So I scribble out the y, m, and x. So y is 7. The m is 1/2, so I put 1 over 2. And the x is negative 6. Okay, so I drop my equals, I drop the 7 down, and then I need to times those two on the calculator. So 1/2, I click 1, and then this ABC key right here, where my finger's at, 1/2 times negative 6, and that gives me negative 3. It's like half of negative 6. Plus b. Now you need to put a 1 in front of your b and dot it every time. And we have a minus 3, so I plus 3, plus 3. So I drop the equals, I get 10. And then again, having a multiplier of 1 means you can just take the multiplier off. You don't have to divide if it's a 1, because dividing by 1 doesn't change anything. Negative 3, 5. So x, y. So the y is 5. The m is negative 8. And the x is negative 3. Drop your equals. 5. And then I take negative 8 times negative 3, which is positive 24. Plus b. Put a 1 in front of your b and dot it, circle it. So I've got this positive 24 here. I'm going to have to minus 24. So I drop my equals, and I got to take 5 minus 24. And then the 1 on the dot can be just forgotten, and that's what we have. Okay. 3 more. So y, m, and x have to be out of the equation. Okay, so the y, I put a negative 6. The m, I put negative 1 over 5 times the x, I put 2. Okay, so I drop the equals, and I'm going to put my negative 6 here. Now on the other side, I need to take negative 1/5 times 2. So negative 1/5 times 2. I got negative 2/5. Okay. Now put a 1 in front of your b and dot it and circle it. And we need to add 2/5. Okay. Okay, so what I do is I take negative 6 plus 2/5. So plus 2, ABC 5. That is negative 5 3/5. That U means the negative 5 is a whole number, and 3/5 there. And now I have the B, I can ignore the 1. Okay, next one. So we do have some fractions, but you all have calculators where you can do them. So that's x, that's y. So y is replaced with negative 6. The m is 3/4. And the x is going to be 4. So 3/4 times 4. So I drop my equals. I just write negative 6. Then I take 3/4, 3ABC4 times 4, and that's 3. So 3 plus b, put the 1 in on your b and dot it. Now you got to get rid of that plus 3 outside. So minus 3, minus 3. So I drop the equals. Negative 6 minus 3 is negative 9. And then having a 1 as the multiplier means I can just write the letter down. As long as it's a 1, it has to be a positive 1. It always is on this assignment. Okay. So y is negative 8. M is negative 2/3. And the x I know is negative 6. Okay, so I drop my equals. We got negative 8. Negative 2/3 times negative 6 is 4 plus b. Okay, so I put the 1 in front of the b again. Outside we got the plus 4, so I'm minus 4. Minus 4, I drop the equals. Negative 8 minus 4 is negative 12. Okay. And then having a multiplier of 1 means we just have b.